Hi guys, so don't forget, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. And whether you're a new viewer or an existing viewer, don't forget to hit that bell to be notified of when we have new videos up, and also hit that like button. So in this video we're going to take a look at this BMW 1 Series that we used in the UV primer video, and just go through the base coat and the clear coat stage on this car. So for the base coat stage I'm using the LS400. It's got 1.3 set up in it. It's the HVLP version of the WS400 that I use most of the time for clear coat. I have to say it's a really good gun. If you guys haven't seen the review on this, head over and see the review that we did on this. It is a really nice gun, and a really nice gun for the money as well. So the job in hand, as I said, this is just this BMW 1 Series. I had a little knock on this arch here, and we used the UV primer system to prime it up. And literally you're probably talking about an hour and a half ago this job came into the shop, so that's how much of a difference the UV primer system actually makes. You get this repaired, primed, blocked, masked, everything done and dusted, and it obviously now straight into paint within about an hour and a half of coming into the shop. It was a very quick job to turn around. Now we are using the Mobile solvent base coat for this job, and I thought I'd just do a little bit of video on this one. It's just a little bit of something different to, you know, some of the review videos and stuff we've been doing recently. And also, with this being my shop, I do get a little bit more time to do a lot more filming these days, so we can include a little bit more footage like this. So I've been asked a lot of questions about my prep and how I go about painting a job. Now, all the primer work is finished to a P500, and then I'll normally just give it a quick nib over with an 800 hand pad. All the area there that you can see on the actual blend panel is done with a P1000. I used the 3M micro finishing discs for that, and then I just scotch up where the blends are going to go, just to make sure that, you know, they're keyed up, but they're not as harshly done as like the P1000 would be. I just use a bit of grey scotch over those areas. Now this is a kind of touch and go job. Technically, I suppose this was on the borderline of blending into this door, but I do know that this Mobile particular shade on this is extremely close, and as long as I just keep just off that where that door's taped up, I know that I'm not going to have a problem with the colour on this. Panel to panel, you could almost pretty much straight paint a panel with this and bolt it on the car, which is why I'm only painting the quarter panel on that and we're not blending into the door. Now, for the first coat of base coat with solvent, I always like to sort of like put the first one or two down really light. The only problem is with solvent base coat, as a lot of you guys will know, there is a lot of chance of reaction with solvent base coat. It is quite prone to fry ups and stuff like that, which is why currently I am actually looking at trying to get a water based scheme into the shop, because although water based does take a little bit longer in the actual drying of the base coat, personally I do prefer it a lot to solvent. Solvent's great sometimes for newer stuff where there's pretty much a very slim chance of anything reacting, or maybe it's not been to a valeter's and it's not been hit with loads of silicone or anything like that. I just do find solvent a lot more temperamental with all those sorts of things really. Whereas water, once you get used to using it, I do find that it can be just as quick and just as easy, if you use it in the right way, as what using solvent base coat can, but with a lot less of the issues. And obviously you've got the bonus that it is a lot better for the environment as well. Now, masking wise on this car, you'll notice that there's a lot of different products than you've probably seen in some of the previous videos. I've been trying out some of the Q1 tape and the Q1 sheet. I have to say, both the tape and the sheet especially is exceptional. The poly roll that Q1 do is absolutely brilliant. It's really strong, it's really big as well. I think the roll that we had was around about 5.8 meters or something. It'd go on a car like this and almost wrap itself fully underneath the car. As you can see down the side there, it's not even unfolded all the way. It's an absolutely huge sheet. It's really good for, you know, making sure your car's really well bagged up. But then everything else that I've used on this car is actually from J-tape. I've got all their edge tapes in the door, down the bottom of the quarter panel there, and also all their foams and all their no blend edge tapes round the edges of the bumper and everything, so we can do this little blowing on the bumper without any hard edges anywhere or anything like that. So where you see where the grill is there, we've just got a bit of the no blend edge tape round there. I've got a little bit of the door tape running down the middle of the bumper just to stop us getting that little bit of a hard edge there. And when I clear up, I'm going to make sure I keep well away from them areas, just to be on the safe side, to make sure that I don't paint a hard edge in it as well. Now, I have actually shot a video on the J-Tape products using this car as well. So we'll see this car again at some point in the near future, just showing you the difference between like the standard soft edge door foams and their advanced edge door foams. Because after trying them once, I have to say I was a complete convert, and I've switched completely over to using all their foams for everything. They may be a touch more expensive than what you used to, but for me, I'm willing to pay that extra few pound a box to get the extra quality and the extra finish that you get using their products. Because I think, as far as business wise goes, customers get what they pay for. You know, there's plenty of places that will do a job cheaper, but they're not going to get the quality. So I'm very much the same in the way that I buy my products and materials and tools as well. We want to, you know, use the best, and not so much charge the best, but you know, we charge a decent rate for the work that we do, and we use good quality and decent materials while we're doing it. So you know, our customers get what they pay for in the jobs. Now onto the clear coat stage, we're using the WS400 from Iwata. It's the 1.3 HD setup. It's a 2 bar, 2.5 turns out on the fluid, and the fan is 1 3/4 open. Now, clear coat wise, I'm using the Octoral C450 for this. It's the rapid repair clear. It's got a really nice it says around about 5-minute bake, but basically if I heat the booth up to 60 degrees with 2 full wet coats of this, when the booth hits 60 degrees, if I switch the booth off and let it cool down, then by the time that the car's cooled down back to room temperature, I can guarantee you that clear is cured. It's absolutely brilliant. So it really does cut down the bake times and turnaround times really well. So for a job like this, which is a trade job, hence, you know, why I'm putting that blend up on that top pillar and not going all the way down to the end of the pillar, and we're just keeping this small to this one panel really. Just because it's a trade job, you know, the trader wants it that little bit cheaper. You're still getting the same products, you're still getting the same materials as we would on you know, a private job, but just to save him that little bit of cost, we are putting that clear blend up at the top, and we are just blowing a bumper corner in rather than painting a whole bumper, which is something that usually on a private job I would steer away from. But I have to say, this Octoral C450 is really good stuff, and just in case you guys haven't seen the review we did on it, I'll leave a link in the description to the review, and also the link where you can buy it from PMP Supplies. Although when I went on last night, I believe they are actually out of stock at the moment, but you know, by the time you watch this video, they probably will have more stock in, or more stock coming in very soon. And as you can see with that first coat, there's not really much hanging around with this stuff. I'm going to put the second coat down with exactly the same gun settings, and I gave it about 2 or 3 minutes in between, just to flash off, which, although this is a wet on wet clear, I do this with every single clear. If I'm honest with you, I always give it that little bit of time in between, do that little bit of a tack test on the tape, and then go straight over with a really nice wet coat. Now, if anything, I'd say it probably did do this a little bit too nice compared to the rest of the car, but as I said, it was a trade job. You know, it's not something that's going to get polished up. I think there was 2 little nibs in that quarter panel that got polished out, and we polished out the blend out the top of it. The rest of this quarter panel was left gun finish, and the same for the bumper. The bumper corner was all left gun finish apart from where the blends were, so it makes this a nice, you know, quick, efficient job for us to get in and out. It means we can save that bit of cost for the trader. He's still getting the quality, and obviously the good materials on the car, but it just gives us that little option to just cut a little bit of cost down for ourselves, obviously because the traders want everything just that little bit cheaper than the private guys do, because they're bringing you regular work. Now, as you can see there, as soon as I finish that second coat, I just give it a quick flick with a little bit of fade out thinner out of my little starter, just to help that little clear blend go in that little bit nicer. And I'll do the same on this bumper corner in a minute as well. And one thing that I will say with this C450 is it does burn in really nice with the fade out thinners, and you can put two really good nice wet coats back to back straight on top of each other like this, and not really have to worry about it running, because it has got such a fast flash off time that before it really starts to run or sag, it's pretty much, you know, already flashed off. So if you try and hit gun finish in like the instant gun finish as nice as you can, and don't sort of allow for any flow out or anything like that, I pretty much guarantee that straight away you're going to have that, whatever you hit on the car with your gun, that's the finish that you're going to end up with. It doesn't tend to flow out a lot at all with the fast hardener that we're using, just because it does flash off, you know, 60 seconds and it's already tacking off, which is great. You know, it does help quite a lot, and it helps keep the dust down as well. I mean, as you can see on this, nice neat little bumper corner blow in there. The quarter panels, absolutely spot on. I've got no issues with that whatsoever. There's two little nibs up at the top here that I'll just point out, and we've got that little blend to polish out, and that'll be job done for this one. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you again soon for the next one. Bye for now.